they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best because I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 20-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Stafford. He gets this one to Johnson. That one good for 26 and a first down.
260. 270.
On first down, here's Breida. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 37.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Open man is Galladay, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal will feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Check 55, Mike. Good track, good track. 55, hey. He don't know no better. 53, ready. Hey, orbit.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive.
Touchdown, Detroit. Matt Prater lining up for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Running right, Portis. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Lions will take over.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. A big run there by Johnson, 45 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on its toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
Now it's Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this 1st quarter, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. The extra point hits the left upright, but goes through anyway, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
The conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15.
On the toss, this is Clinton Portis. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now a carry for Portis. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th.
Here's Tressway now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Agnew now to return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2nd and 10. Stafford again. This complete to Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
40 got.
Stafford now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's Portis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on the play.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Looking downfield for Jones. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Washington. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is Geis. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Hey, 54. 5.
Now Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They'll go right back to the ground with Portis. And there to get him down defensively, Brian Allen.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range. Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They go counter with Breida. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Detroit.
Stafford now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Running out of the gun here, Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
2nd and 6 at the Redskins' 45-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Breida. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
At the 12-yard line.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for third and goal. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll try to run with Breida. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Haskins will throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down.
And the Washington Redskins first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, alert three, alert three.
They'll run it here with Portis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Switch.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Haskins. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
The second down pass. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Haskins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Looking downfield for Joe. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Here's Breida. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Ladies! Drill right, 22!
To throw is Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Yellow 80! Yellow 80! 4 down!
Stafford on first down. And he fires one incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. I got 11. Hey, easy!
To throw again. Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he's out right at the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
First down, Detroit.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Open man, he's got him. The tight end, Hockenson. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 45-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
First down, Detroit.
Set, 250, zebra.
This is Breida, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, the teammate is in.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matt Breida, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Here we go.
At their own 34-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A run with Portis. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Haskins gets this to Reed. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Haskins now A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They hand it off to Portis. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down. Haskins is going to find his running back. It's complete. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Geis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd and goal, Haskins to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
4th down. Here's Haskins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Drop these, 10. Check 50. Check 52.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 15. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Here we go. Danny.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Looking downfield, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Will Harris. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
What's tight? Tight is right.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Haskins. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 48 yards. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Hey. 4 down.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down. Today's final.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Lions, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well.